What's up, guys? It's Will with DFS Army. Gonna be going over the PrizePicks NFL Week 12 slate here. So, digging right in, we got 5 picks for this week. And we're gonna start off with the NFL first half category. And we're going to receiving yards with Travis Kelce taking them more on his 34.5 receiving yards. So, we're taking the first half instead of the full game, which is at 68.5. Not saying that the full game is a bad pick, but I just slightly prefer the first half one because the Chiefs are 10-point favorites here. They're on the road, but taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, who are going to be without Max Crosby. So it's gonna give Mahomes less pressure, so he has more time to throw. And Kelce already, I like this pick even without the Crosby injury, because the Chiefs, they did lose last week against the Eagles, so this does look like a get-right spot for them. I think they should probably win this one pretty easily, and Kelce is by far their best weapon. The Chiefs receivers, they just drop the ball a ton, so I expect Mahomes to really go to Kelce. Kelce didn't have like an amazing game. I mean, he wasn't bad, but by Kelce's standards, this just seems like a spot where they really want to just give him the ball, win the game. And Mahomes trusts him. Yeah, they've been together for a while now. And yeah, just the first half, because of a possibility that the second half they don't have to throw as much, I still think they're going to throw a good bit because it's Patrick Mahomes. They want to give him the ball. But first half, targeting teams that are favored to win the game pretty easily, but taking the first half on receiving yards or passing yards, if you're looking at some other players, is kind of just a strategy that I like to look at. Now the next one, we're going to go back to the full game category, and one fantasy score play actually so far with what we have here on the board, it's going to be Chuba Hubbard, less than 10.5 fantasy score. We're taking less than here because Miles Sanders, he's become a factor again. Hubbard, he was named a starter a few weeks back there, but since Sanders has returned from injury, his snaps have been increasing, where it was almost a 50-50 split last week. These 3 weeks, Carolina did lose. They were in passing game scripts. But then you look at the routes ran for Hubbard. He had 30 here, which is insane. But then he had 10 and 10 here. And Sanders has been getting healthy as the weeks have gone on, removed from injury. And Sanders himself, in week 10, he actually ran more routes than Hubbard. And Sanders is a guy that can catch passes out of the backfield, so it could be kind of like a hot hand approach. But seeing how they're kind of splitting the work here, it really isn't I wouldn't feel weird taking the over. I definitely would like to take the under here, and that's what I'm doing. If you're looking at Vegas odds for him, Hubbard has a 45.5 rushing yard line with an 11.5 receiving yard line. So we'll say he gets 2 catches to get those 11.5 receiving yards, and then you're adding up the yards, we'll just give him 6, and then the 2 catches, that's 8. So he really needs a touchdown here or to just get crazy passing game work. And he is a plus 255 for a touchdown on DraftKings. So the odds are against him getting a touchdown. The Titans, their defense is not as great as years past, but they are a pass funnel. So they want you to throw the ball, they want you to beat them through the air. And as a running back here for Hubbard, not the best spot for him because of the Titans defense, how they concentrate on stopping opposing running backs first. So lying in the less than here on 10.5 for Hubbard. The third one is going to be another Chiefs player, and that is Patrick Mahomes, taking the more on 17.5 rushing yards. So without Crosby, there's going to be probably less pressure. However, because Mahomes is by far the Chiefs' best player, they're going to give him the ball still. They're going to throw. We've seen it in the past even when the Chiefs are up, they still say, hey, we'll call some passes for Mahomes, get easy completions to run the clock still, things like that. And this line was at 24.5, but it's probably because Crosby, the news came out and the line dropped to 17.5. But since then, it has risen back to 20.5. I'm just going to show just to make sure here. 20.5, and so we're getting a little bit of a discount here. Mahomes, he's got elite scrambling ability. He just evades pressure. If you watch this dude play, it's like he's about to get sacked, but somehow just gets out of it and actually gets positive yards out of it. So Mahomes, we're getting a discount here. He is able to get rushing yards. Just he has that ability, crazy good quarterback, and I don't mind playing this with Kelce. I don't think it's negative correlation at all because you're taking receiving yards in the first half versus a full game prop, and these are the two players that make this Chiefs offense go. So they can both get there. Now the fourth and fifth, both of these next two picks are going to be from the touchdown combo category. First one will be Calvin Ridley plus Nico Collins, taking them more on the 0.5 touchdowns here. Hopefully Zay Jones plays because Calvin Ridley is a lot better when Zay Jones is in. Zay Jones did practice in limited fashion all 3 days, so I would think that he's going to be in, and it's a big deal. Ridley is just like Zay Jones opens things up for this offense, and Ridley, he gets his Texans defense, Nico Collins gets the Jaguars defense. This game has a very solid total, possible shootout, one of the higher totals on the slate at 47.5, and it's also a 1.5 spread, so this could be a back and forth affair, meaning these two teams are going to just be throwing a ton to keep up with each other. Individually, their touchdown odds, Ridley is a plus 140 right now. These are DraftKings odds. Nico Collins is at a plus 135. And for Nico Collins, this is a better matchup for him as opposed to Tank Dell. So that's another thing that does help. But yeah, we want Zay Jones to be in though for Calvin Ridley because that just, we want the best case for these plays. And I would think Zay Jones is going to be playing. And with the total close spread, this does look like one of the better plays for the over, for the more in this category. And then the fifth one, really like this one as well. Taking more than 0.5 touchdowns for Mike Evans plus Chris Godwin. So for the Jaguars and Texans one with Ridley and Collins, this game, both of these teams are basically projected to score 3 touchdowns each. So the odds are pretty good because these are Ridley, you can argue, best passing game option or not, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, but 3 touchdowns, does look pretty good. If they get one on the ground, they get 2 through the air. Odds are that hopefully one of them does go to either or, because you don't need both of them. You just need one of these guys to get it. Same thing with Evans and Godwin. They're teammates here, and they're taking on the Colts defense. They're playing in a dome, so no need to worry about weather. Usually domes are just the better conditions. They're the optimal conditions for teams or to score points. And the Bucks, though, they aren't favored to score 3 touchdowns, but the odds for over 2.5 team touchdowns are only a plus 110 for the overs, so it's close to 50% if you're looking at it on odds to hit. And even if they only score 2 touchdowns, which I don't think it's crazy to think that they can score more than 2, Evans and Godwin are by far the 2 best passing game options for this team. And if they get one on the ground, Rachaad White, if we give him 1 touchdown, okay. But second touchdown, I would like the odds on that it's either Evans or Godwin that gets it. Baker Mayfield has been pretty solid this year throwing the ball. They're taking on a Colts defense that just isn't great, and that's allowed the Colts games to really have, I think they've been in some shootouts this season, and this one can certainly be another one. The total is at 44.5. It's another close spread, 2.5 only, and that's just what is going to be. That's just kind of like what we want when we take mores for receivers. And yeah, just plus 145 for Evans, plus 150 for Godwin on touchdown odds. Again, using DraftKings odds, but remember they are juiced because you cannot take the under on a majority of the sites for touchdowns. So those are going to be your 5 picks for this week 12 of an NFL. Travis Kelce, the favorite pick for this week. First half, remember, it is the first half category, not the full game. You're not going to get a 34.5 prop for full game for Kelce. Hubbard under 10.5. Mahomes more than 17.5 rushing yards. And then 2 combo touchdowns, both on the more for Ridley and plus Nico, and then Evans plus Godwin. So those are your 5 picks for week 12 here on DFS Army. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully we do hit a 5 for 5 this week. Playing these as a 5 pick for the flex entry here. So hopefully we do hit that 10x. Thank you guys again for watching. Good luck on this slate, and I will see you in the next video.